Okay, today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a Google form, and I'm going to do that by using Google Chrome as a web browser because I think it's a lot faster, especially compatible with Google Drive and any of the Google products. So the way that you start is by firstly signing to Google Drive. So there's the icon for Drive, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my email login details in. So you can actually sign up with your college email address. It doesn't matter. You don't have to make a personal email address. So I've already got a registration, so I've signed in. So this is how my screen looks now because I've created a couple of folders. So at the moment you've got the create button that's here. You can actually press this button and it will allow you to upload folders or particular files. So you can use this space actually as a memory stick online, and any of your work will be backed up automatically. You'll never have to save anything, and it's available and accessible from different devices. So I'll start by showing you how to make a Google form. So you press create and you get a drop down menu of different options. So you've got documents, which are the equivalent of Microsoft Word. You've got presentation, which equate to a PowerPoint, spreadsheet, which is self-explanatory, and form is what we want today. So I'm going to click on form, and you can use Google Forms for questionnaires, for surveys, quizzes. So you could use them both at work or with your colleagues or with students. So I'm going to create a practice test Google form. So I'm going to give it a name here. So let's type something feedback for okay, so I've got feedback for training on Google Forms. Here I can write some help text to make sure that the person understands what I'd like them to do. So here I can say, please reflect back on the training session today and complete all the questions. Okay, so that's done. Now what I can do is just stick down what question I would like to ask as a first question. So actually before I start going into that, what I'd like to draw your attention to is the features that you've got here. So you're always going to have the title bar, the help text, and you'll have the questions that appear here, and here it even says sample question. What you can do is press on 3 of these icons. So you've got the delete button if you want to get rid of the question. You've got the duplicate button. So if you wanted to make a question and you know they're all going to be in the same format, such as multiple choice, you can press duplicate and it's going to create the exact same question. So at the moment what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that. I want to get rid of this. And actually I'll get rid of this as well, the sample question. So now I've deleted everything. You don't have to delete this. There's a question here as well. I'll get rid of that. And we'll start from scratch. So this is your first question. You can stick in a question title here, help text here to guide the person. So first question, if you want to gather the information, is please write down your full name. And here you could write help text, as in I want the surname first and then their first name afterwards, and I will be able to get the people to write their answer in this box here. So you've got different options. You've got text, which allows you to write something short. You've got paragraph text, which is a longer response, multiple choice answers as well, and you've got check boxes. So with multiple choice you can select only one of the options which will be correct. With checkboxes you can select more than one response depending on which response applies. You can actually do a drop down menu, so you can click a couple of options and use that as a drop down menu for the purpose of your survey. So somebody has to select something. You can have a scale, which means 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, or vice versa. So for the purpose of this question, I'm just going to write text, so the person writes the answer there. Here you've got a section that says make this a required question. So that means the person can't skip this question. They can't complete the survey without completing this one particular question. So I'll write make this a required question and done. When I was showing you the duplicate button, if I know that my next question is also going to be in a similar format, I can just press duplicate and it's going to populate the exact same structure. But if I decide, okay, I'm going to delete that now because I was just showing you, if I want to edit this question and I didn't quite spell something correctly, I can go in and press the pencil button and start writing whatever I need to start writing. Okay, so you don't have to press save, you just press done. Now, if I want to add another question, I can do it this way. Add item, text, paragraph text, multiple choice, check boxes, choose from a list. So you've got different options. So I'll just look at multiple choice. Do you feel that this session was useful to you? Okay, it's not a great question, but select one answer. So multiple choice, and you can just say yes or no, and then the person has to select that. If you've got an instance where you can actually add another response, such as add other, the person can have the flexibility then to add their own answer. So for now, I'll just get rid of that. So you can make this a required question done. Let's add another question on a scale. So, how confident do you feel with using Google Forms? Question. Select one response from the scale. Now it's going to populate a scale. 1 meaning you can write down what the scale will be. So 1 could be poor, 1 could also be not confident. So not confident, and here very confident. So 2, 3, 4 self-explanatory. So at the moment I'm just going to leave the survey or questionnaire to be this short, so just with 3 questions. I'm going to show you how to change the background. So right now the questionnaire doesn't look very nice. So if you've got a theme that's plain, you can change the theme and make it look different. So you've got lots of themes that you can choose from. I'm just going to choose this theme. So that's how my form is going to look, and I apply this theme because I think that's fine. Now what I need to do is view what my form will look like as a live version. So at the bottom of your screen you've got a blue sort of address. So if you click into that address, it will show you exactly what the form will look like. So if somebody was to be completing this, you send the link to them, this is how they will see the form. So Rido, Angela, do you feel the session was useful to you? Yes. How confident do you feel? 4. Submit. Now what I'm going to show you is what the results appear like. Okay, so I'll get rid of this. That was my form. If I go back to my Google Drive, what I will see is this feedback form was automatically saved. I didn't have to press save. But when I go into the form, this is what happens. You see the responses like this. So they're not very nice to look at. So you've got timestamp of when it was completed, your full name, do you feel the session was useful, how confident do you feel? And what it will do is populate some data. So at the moment I will show you how to send this form to somebody. So you can send it in 2 ways. You can either click send form, so form, send form, or what you can do is you can go to the form, highlight the address, copy paste that and put that in an email to someone, and they should get that. Now at the moment accepting responses, so you can see it did accept my responses. So if you need to edit the form, you can go back in and do form, edit form. So you've got a number of options that you can choose there, and then you can go and add another question. So I'm quite happy with that form. What I would like to show you is an example of something that I did earlier. So let me just get rid of this, and I'm going to go back into my Google Drive, and I'm going to show you an actual form that I use, so feedback on training. So what it does is it allows you to open the form that you used, and you can go into form, show summary of responses, and it will basically give you lots of information about the responses received. So here you've got 9 responses. Have you learned something useful today? It gives you statistics, so it'll give you percentages. So actually everybody said yes, that's great. How confident do you feel? So it gives me a breakdown of nobody said 1, but 22% of people said 5, very confident, and you've got people sort of strolling in the middle there with 33%. Are you going to use Google Forms? So one person did say no, so it gives me 11%, and actually 78% of people said actually yes, they are going to use Google Forms, so that was a success. And the way that you find summary of live responses, let me just show you the one that I've created with you today, is there's only one response, so the statistics are going to look very positive actually, but you go to form, show summary of responses, so that will show you the right information that you need to see. So there's a breakdown there, so each question will be broken down. So I only had a few questions, and it will tell me the number of daily responses. You can actually view the published form again there if you need to go back. So that's how to make a Google form. This is great for using with students in the class because you can recap the lesson at the end of the lesson, or you could use it at the beginning to just look at what you covered last week or the previous lesson. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.